myths of the left and myths of the right, the myth of voter fraud, the myth of voter intimidation, the myth of voter ID laws being voter suppression. Now, myths all around, right? I'm not doing false equivalency, everybody, but I am saying that I find it interesting, okay, that there are some things that would surprise you about voter laws. And for some bizarre reason, in spite of several reports about voter fraud actually being a problem, every time more information comes out that might show there are more like ghost voters who are registered in several different states, more registered voters than adults, then we have articles coming by to again assert that a voter fraud problem is virtually non-existent. It's non-existent, okay? Even though, oh, what about that case over there? What about this case over here? Or what about people getting signed up and they were proven later to not be citizens? That was in Virginia. That's in different states. Everything's so fragmented that we never really get an accurate look. Now, here's why I dispute this idea that it's a non-existent problem. Okay, we all know that the Cook County voting machine in Illinois, in Chicago, was probably the most successful voter fraud operation in history, and it went on for a really long time. And everybody jokes about it, but it's like, it's over now, right? It's over now, and no, I mean, we know how to do it, but we don't do it, right? You know, and the funny thing is, like, think about it. Voting is the key to power. It's the key to power. And we all know that people who get corrupted by power do not want to leave things to the voters or to chance, okay? And I just feel like with the odds of having lived this long on this planet and human nature, it's impossible that there is a zero an fraud problem. Now, let's go to voter intimidation. Getting rid of polling places, closing polls, limiting hours is all an example of voter suppression, vote suppression. It's not a good idea. It just shouldn't be done. We should put more resources on it. Now, purging voter rolls is seen as a very, very sinister thing ever since Florida and the hanging chads, right? Purging the voter rolls, that was unfair, and then there's this and that, dirty tricks, right? All around. Gerrymandering. Funny thing is, gerrymandering is done often to preserve or to give African Americans and people of color more of a voice in a district. So they're drawn purposely that way. You look deeper into it. So a lot of people think that it's just guaranteed that Republicans do gerrymandering to benefit themselves. The fact is, it's done for purposes of giving minorities a voice already, and so it becomes really, really complicated when you try to even things out and make them fair after that. So clearly we need to come up with something like that. But then again, this thing about voter ID. Voter ID. It really is astounding that liberals and the left laugh about the idea of trying to make sure that everyone who votes once and is who they say they are. Shouldn't be a problem in this day and age. We know that there are poor and elderly who cannot always prove their identity, and we know that there are people living on reservations who have like a PO box, don't always have a physical address. Those things need to be addressed, and we need accurate information, definitely. So, you know, other countries probably find it funny that we don't require ID. It's pretty much a no-brainer. You actually have to provide a utility bill just to check out library books. So why is something that's the most important right and privilege in our entire country, why has it become, you know, this lightning rod or this signal that you're racist when you want to talk about proving your identity, and when you want to act like any concerns about it are unfounded? It's just odd to me that there would be not a single Democrat or liberal that would be concerned with proving that people are who they say they are. That's just an odd thing. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I've just read enough and seen enough where it seems like all the studies that do come out, they get poo-pooed and suppressed, and then we go right back to that one dude at Loyola who says there's only been 3 cases in the history of civilization since Jesus was born of voter fraud. Exaggeration warning. Let the best persons win. Americans for America. Godspeed, patriots.